I want to see an example of why certain people, certain individuals, just don't need to have any type of money, right? Like you all have heard me, and I'm gonna say it again. Like you all have heard me say in previous videos regarding reparations for African Americans. I do not believe that we need to have reparations in the form of cash. Definitely in the form of some assets, some sort of income generating assets, but not in the form of cash because of stories like this. Okay. When I see this type of stuff, I can't even say I feel bad for the guy. All right, let me just read it off. Detroit man robbed of $20,000 chain that he bought after winning the lottery. All right, and I'm going to play the video and then I'm gonna break down everything that's wrong with this man's financial awareness or lack thereof, should I say. And let me start by saying before I share this video, this is a very small portion of the Black community that operates this way, but I believe that a huge majority of the Black population exhibits some type of this behavior with finances, which is the reason why our wealth is part of the reason why. Let me make sure I say that because it's not the entire reason why. It is part of the reason why the Black wealth is so far lower than our counterparts. But let me share this crazy crazy story, crazy video. Funny to me in some aspects, but y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, it's Ricky Rich for Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
Side gas station.
And thieves target a man because of the gold chain he was wearing. Tonight he's talking with our Tim Pamplin, who joins us from the scene with the night cam. Tim.
It was a typical afternoon here at this West Warren gas station in Detroit near Grand Boulevard. Customers coming in, filling up with gas, buying lottery tickets. It was a favorite spot for our victim, Jamal.
Thanks, Reed.
Customer walks in, shakes his hand, a couple more customers behind. The guy in the black, pay close attention to him. And his buddy, right behind. They're looking for some easy pickings, and Jamal is their target.
I hit the lottery.
Jamal won $30,000 on the Michigan lottery, bought himself a $20,000 necklace. You see, he's wearing it there. He's heard of people getting robbed for their jewelry.
Yeah, it's a thing. So I was just looking around, making sure nobody ain't trying to get my chain,
But they did get his chain. He walks out the store. The suspects were waiting.
So I ran back, tried to get back into the gas station. They had grabbed me, tackled me down.
A particularly vicious attack, punching him, kicking him, getting him to the ground, ripping off his gold.
They took off running and jumped in their car and took off down Warren.
The gas station owner says he recognized that tall guy in that black top. A few months back, he was in the store. There he is in the white hoodie this time. And his MO was exactly the same. Scope out somebody with some jewels. Here, this man walking towards the store, grabs his necklace and runs away. Investigators believe he lives in the area. They're asking anybody who knows who he is to please give them a call. And that's the scene on the west side with the night cam. Tim Pamplin, local.
So y'all see that's silliness all over. This goofball here stealing people chains. Like, let's break that down real quick. Dude got a $20,000 chain. It's three of y'all, right? Three of y'all. Yeah, three of y'all. I think maybe four. I don't know if there's someone in the car.
They took off running and jumped in their car and took off down Warren.
The gas station.
Yeah, it's three of them. On the street, you might be able to sell it for what, 10 grand if you're lucky. Probably 7 grand. 30% of it. You split it up. You're lucky to get $2,000 to $3,000 a person. What does that get you? A month if you're lucky? If you're lucky, a month. Um, but I mean that's we've heard that before, right? Like these thieves out here, they not to say that you need to be a thief at all, but it's like these are the reason why these types of people get caught all the time. It's the reason why just a month later a month prior he was doing it to somebody else, right? Because he already blew that money. Now he got to continue on, and it's like this isn't even a sustainable hustle, right? Let's take the criminal aspect out of it, right? Let's just take the criminal aspect out of it, and just say that you are selling something for that gets you $2,000 a month, right? And it's not consistent. It's just here and there, $2,000 a month if you're lucky. That's not sustainable. You can't quit your job. You can't get rich off of that. That's cool, especially if it's legal. That's cool, extra money, but it's not sustainable, right? And so when criminals do this, they just take that whole idea of like the sustainability, that like you're going to get caught, your life is going to be ruined. To me, it just makes no sense, right? All of that is beside the point. Let's talk about Jamal. First of all, he won $30,000. Good for him, right? Statistically, it's very, very likely that he has spent more than $30,000 on tickets to win that $30,000. Statistically, I'm saying statistically, he didn't win anything really. He just got a portion of his money back that he had already played. And so that's one. That's the first goofball mistake on Jamal, and the reason why Jamal will never get ahead is literally because of that first thing. Second thing is he hits for the 20K. I'm sorry, he hits for the 30K. He immediately goes and buys something that is likely going to go down in value, a $20,000 gold chain, unless it looked like it had a pendant on it and some other stuff attached to it, unless it was just a straight gold chain that he can melt down into a gold bar or a gold piece. It's very, very unlikely that he would have been able to turn that 20 in 5 years, hold that chain and sell it for more than 20K. Very, very unlikely. Right? So it was just a bad investment. He'd have been better off taking that 20,000, sticking it into an investment, putting a down payment on a house. Because I'm assuming he probably doesn't have one, and I don't mean to judge, but I'm assuming he probably doesn't have one. Putting a down payment on something, starting a business. He literally could have taken that 20,000, started a business, and made 20,000 within a few months of starting that business, especially if it's like online business or something. Right? He could have took that 20,000, went out and bought a bunch of T-shirts that says whatever he wants on the front of it, stood on the corner, sold all those T-shirts for, $15 a piece, and probably tripled that 20,000 by, in just a matter of months. But instead, he went and bought a $20,000 chain out of the $30,000 winnings that he has, which, now that I think about it, if I'm not mistaken, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you have to pay taxes on the lottery winnings, and I believe the taxes are somewhere around 40 or 50%. And if he won 30,000, then he's going to be owing taxes at the end of the year or beginning of 2025. Because half of 30 is 15 is what he would owe in taxes, and he paid $20,000 for a chain, so he doesn't even have enough to pay the taxes off, if he even saved that extra 10. So I'm not too sure what the laws are or how the taxes work in Detroit, but I'm pretty sure that across the board you got to pay taxes of upwards of 50%. So he messed that off. All right. And then lastly, what is he doing right here? He won 30,000. He went and bought a $20,000 chain. He didn't save anything. He didn't save his taxes. Um, and he's in there buying more lottery tickets because he really believes he can, this is sustainable. He can win off this continuously. Terrible, 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 terrible financial sense, financial awareness. Um, and again, this is an example of why we as African American people do not need to get lump sums of cash in most cases, or I'm gonna say in many cases, right? Like I said at the beginning of the video, hit this example. This is just terrible, terrible. This is nowhere near an example of the average African American, but I can say that I believe that many of us exhibit some way, shape, or form some of this behavior. And if we got a lump sum of cash, we will do some of what this man did. Uh, buy things that go down in value, not pay attention to our tax situation, and spend things in a manner that is not sustainable, right? Like if we were to get a lump sum, let's say we got reparations and we got $300,000, which is the last I heard that was being considered, like $300,000 or $400,000 per African American. We would move. We would not move as if that was a one-time deal. I believe that many of us would move as if that is something that will likely happen again. And so we will be, we're not going to move with intent and intentionality, right? Which is exactly what he did. He got the $30,000. Outside of him, blowing, more than half of it, he's in there buying lottery tickets because he believes it's going to happen again. A little off topic, but this is my same reason for not being on board with the student loan forgiveness program that never happened. As much as I was disappointed that it didn't, for the folks that I know that could have benefited from it, my biggest gripe with it all was the fact that if you give that type of relief to people, then people don't have they don't build up that sense of thinking before they go out and make a financial decision like that. Because it got forgiven once, it'll likely be forgiven again. This event, this once in a lifetime event, right? And that's the thing. People will say, "Oh, this is a once in a lifetime deal," but then their actions are not as that of a person who believes that it actually is a once in a lifetime deal, right? So you forgive the student loans, boom, people are going to go out and take other loans, whether it be more student loans, car loans, bigger house loans, because in the back of their minds, they believe that it could possibly be forgiven again. Both, I'll say subconsciously, that's what they believe. And so that is why I'll say entirely, that is why I don't believe that we should as African Americans be getting reparations. And this is just an extreme example. Like I said, again, and I'll make sure I say it clearly. This is not an example. This is not this guy, what was his name? Jerome. I can't remember what his name is now. He is not he is not the shining example of the average African American. Again, I just know, like, this is an example that I like to use to highlight the people out there in the community that will literally will suck the reparation, the whole benefit of the reparations they will suck it dry. You give a man like this $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, however much for reparations, that money is going to go back into the pockets of the government, back into the pockets of outside of the community so fast. You know, we cannot allow that to happen. I would prefer, like I've always said, and I heard this from Dr. Umar first, Dr. Umar Johnson, us getting collectively us getting a huge asset that, you know, like for, I think the example that was used was a utility company, right? In California, we got Southern California Edison, right? If we had monthly, we'll say monthly payouts from the profits of the utility company across the board. Everybody in America across the board gets monthly payouts from these utility companies. And this is just a broad example. Don't question why, how, blah, blah, blah. Just a broad example of an asset that is that's not going to go anywhere, right? It's not an asset that's going to be sold off or anything like that. That's not going to go anywhere, and everybody gets a little piece of it. $1,000 a month. All African Americans, $1,000 a month, regardless of who you are, your status. You get that for life. Similar to how some of the oil companies are set up in some of these other countries. The families of these oil company founders or whatever, the bloodline all gets, you know, like I think like 30% investment or something like that. Some I can't remember how it's broken down, but they all get a payout based on how much they invest, right, for all of their life, right? And so what that would do in a situation like this is Jerome here can blow his $1,000. Who cares? You want to blow your $1,000 every month, right? Who cares? You blow your $1,000, and then eventually maybe you learn that doing that isn't going to work, and so then you get smart. But if you give this man $300,000 today, it's gone tomorrow. So what was the point of the reparations? Right? So, yeah, this, I mean, I had to share this because it's just one of the topics that just, when I see this type of stuff, like I said, I mean, outside of him getting dragged outside or dragged back outside when he was trying to run away, you know, that's not funny, but you know, this whole situation, I mean, he brought it on himself. He really did. You not only do you just burn the money, but then you wear the chain in an area that he clearly said that he knew was probably not the best area to be wearing his chain out like that. He said it. So I don't know what he thought. You know, maybe this is some sort of setup. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's an insurance. I hope. You know, I'm not an advocate for crime, but I would hope that he's not that dumb, and really this is just one of those silly insurance claim situations. And he's not dumb enough to literally go out, spend more than 60%, 66% of his earnings on a chain, and then take that chain and wear it to an area that he knows is known for people getting a chain snatch. I cannot fathom that's exactly how that happened. And no, that's what he explained here. Very silly. But y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, it's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.